So we're starting off front page review with The Nation, as usual. And the major headline, Edu, 10 trillion savings from subsidy removal for infrastructure others. So we're saving the 10 trillion naira that's been saved from subsidy will now be used for infrastructure and other things, while the World Bank urges government to push on with reforms. Bandits got weapons from corrupt security men, says NSA. JAMB okays varsity admission for under 18 until next year. Federal government gets 846,000 doses of malaria vaccines, and they roll out in Kebbi, Bayelsa. Death toll in Jigawa tanker inferno rises to 166 as the ex-president Jonathan blames judiciary for crisis in PDP. INEC has fixed November 8, 2025 for Anambra governorship election polls, and the NG sets for workshop. So what story are we starting with?
JAMB. So according to JAMB's public communications advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, JAMB has released a statement titled JAMB has taken cognizance that due to different reasons, some institutions expect 2024-2025 admission to run through July 2025. So without compromising the standard or infringing on the individual institutions' admission policy, the board has now decided to allow any willing institution to admit candidates who will be 16 years old by August 31st, 2025, as long as their standards set by the institution qualify such candidates, but couldn't be admitted only because of age. So now, for those who have been affected by the Education Minister's new policy of 18 years for admission into higher institutions, this has become an exception. So there's now been an exception for you guys till 2025, August 31st. Any child above 16 and below 18 for that 1 year period can still qualify for admission in interested institutions. I'm taking the story because I got a feedback after our hot topic on that topic that a young girl, an exceptional student in Kaduna, she had over 300 and something, I think 380 something in her JAMB, was refused admission across all the higher institutions she had applied, including private universities. And her parents were really heartbroken because of it. But now, I've sent the story immediately to her cousin, hoping that they can now approach. But the parents didn't even intend for a federal, they wanted a private university. But most of the private universities are saying because they are private, they will be the first to be picked.
Yes, if they disobey.
Yeah, she's an exceptional candidate.
Okay, so I have the story of the malaria vaccine. They said Nigeria has received 846,000 doses of the malaria vaccine from Gavi. This is to combat malaria. They said the vaccine proves to reduce malaria cases and mortality among young children. And also, Nigeria is the third country to adopt it, ahead of Ghana and Kenya. They said the minister noted that the arrival of the vaccine marks a historic milestone in Nigeria's fight against malaria and will significantly enhance the country's ongoing efforts to eliminate the disease. It has long been overdue. And they also said that the government has developed a strategic distribution plan to prioritize regions most affected by malaria, particularly in rural areas where access to healthcare is limited. The rollout will begin in these high-burden regions before expanding nationwide. I think malaria is affecting everybody.
Malaria actually kills more than many other diseases. It's the highest killer.
Long overdue.
So
and I'm
happy.
Good move. Yes, I'm very happy.
I know you have a story.
Yeah, so bandits got weapons from corrupt security men, says National Security Advisor. 2,400 illegal arms destroyed. Anti-terror war at advanced stage. So we got on The Nation that bandits and terrorists, they are getting sizable numbers of their arms and ammunition from insiders, security men. So this was made known by Nur Ribadu, who is the NSA person. And he has said that they've destroyed, seized and recovered 2,400 illicit small arms and light weapons in Abuja yesterday. He said that it's really hard for the security agencies to fight because they have insiders who sell this ammunitions to the bad guys and give information. Imagine selling ammunitions to your enemies and they come in to kill in your own place. So he has said that they are moving from the normal fights they are doing, and they are going to get fighter jets and drones that will help in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria. So, but it's a good move anyway.
Yes, it is. We've always suspected it, but now that they have proof to say that it's compromised security men, which means that they are they have access to the ammunition and they're the ones supporting the bandits. We hope that we'll see improvements in the security infrastructure within the country. Moving on to the Punch major headline: skyrocketing inflation, Nigerians lament hunger. World Bank says 129 million trapped in poverty. That's 129 million Nigerians are trapped in poverty. Commodity prices jump up by 45.9% under Tinubu as small business owners lament downturn. Government orders DISCOS to replace phased-out meters, and cholera has killed 378. Cases have risen to 14,237. That's from the NCDC. So cholera is still happening big time. OPS carpets the President Tinubu's reforms. CSO demand cabinet shake-up. We're all waiting for that cabinet shake-up. Somebody has the story. Then tanker explosion. Federal government promises to rebuild raised Jigawa town. And Rivers offers 100 scholarships as Wigwe Varsity kicks off. So what are we?
Okay, so I have the DISCOS. The federal government, through the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, has said that there's no directive to phase out Unistar meters, but they have ordered the DISCOS that even when meters are to be phased out, they must be replaced. No resident who has, obtained the Unistar meter. So Unistar is one of the meter manufacturers that the DISCOS have been using their meters, but that meter will soon need to be phased out because it cannot be upgraded. And so due to technology, it can't be upgraded. Over time, they will have to phase it out. But the government says there's no such directive to phase it out immediately, but eventually it will be. So government is saying with a 7 million deficit of metered people, they cannot allow DISCOS just phase out a set of meters without replacement. So they've also said that, yes, even on they can obtain, they talked of the measures under the MAP system. You can meter and then you refund with units, and so that the resident consumer obtains the meter fully financially, and then the DISCOS pay it back with units. Electricity. So you can use that kind of arrangement to replace, but do not leave a person unmetered.
And it's important that we don't even... What has been going on is because the newer meters tend to read faster-ish, according to those that have moved from the old meter system to the new one. So they go to people that already have meters, and then they want to upgrade them, where there are many Nigerians that are not metered. So let's focus on getting everybody metered before now starting to upgrade the other ones that exist. So take a break now. When we return, we would continue with the front page review. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we're still doing the front page review and we're on Punch. You have a story. Yeah, so skyrocketing inflation, Nigerians lament hunger, and World Bank has said Nigerians were dwindling into poverty. As of 2018, there was this report that we were around 40.1% under the poverty line. But as of 2024, it's now 56%. It means that 115 million Nigerians were living within the poverty line. But right now, additional 35 million Nigerians have been added to the line. As it is now, it's like there's nothing like a middleman. It's either you're rich or you're poor. And it's very appalling because over half percentage of Nigerians are poor. If you have 51-point-something%, it means that it's already 1% above the half percent. So a lot of Nigerians are suffering in hunger, and this poverty line, they've attributed it to different factors: COVID, disaster, insecurity, and everything that has to come with events that have happened in Nigeria. So World Bank is saying 129 million Nigerians are trapped in poverty. Do you know what it means to be trapped in poverty? As a matter of fact, a lot of Nigerians are
struggling to even survive. No one is talking about saving for tomorrow.
You have no idea the
You just want
conversation
to
I
eat.
was having with my house girl. When I saw plantain, I counted it. I said, 555 for today, 555 for tomorrow. The remaining 3, enjoy. Because like, they would have just finished everything.
Yeah.
If we don't, there must issue running. You have to put calculation to everything right now. Ramatu, you have a story.
Yes, I have a story on the scholarships as Wigwe University takes off. They said Governor Fubara has awarded scholarship to 100 students of the Wigwe University, Isiokpo, in the Ikwere local government area of the state. This came after while the late Dr. Herbert Wigwe commenced academic activities 8 months before his demise. They said after his passing, there were palpable fears in some quarters that the university may not take off as planned. But Mr. Fubara has come out and said that the government will ensure that the vision of the philanthropist from the institution will not die. And therefore, he has awarded scholarship to 100 students. And he also said that he has looked at the institution's curriculum, and he said that he's happy and is satisfied with what he can see in the curriculum. So go ahead and apply for the scholarships.
Okay, fantastic.
Get it.
I'm happy that the school, people were a bit scared that the school might not, but they have a strong board of trustees. I even know that I think...
I have a friend.
yes, people are actually actively working to maintain that legacy, and I'm happy the state governor is also supporting, because once you have more universities, the business activity would start around that area. I want to take a story about, very sad story about from Jigawa State, where a tanker explosion has caused death of 166 people. Our heart goes out to all the family. The Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau has launched an investigation into the accident. It happened in Niger Town, Taura local government area, and in the statement, the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, the Public Affairs and Family Assistant, Mrs. Bimbola Oladeji, said the Bureau is aware of the explosion, and this explosion was caused by a petrol tanker, and according to them, they have deployed experts to probe the incidents and get the details of what's happened and how it can be prevented. They also shared their condolences. The governor has assured that the community affected will be rebuilt. Also, the APC, the national chairman of APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has commiserated with the people and the government, and he said he's saddened and that they would also support in the rebuilding of this community. It was a really grave incident, and our heart goes out to the entire community, everybody involved in that community.
Yeah, and you know how people go to scoop fuel when these things happen?
Did that happen to you?
Yes, I saw something online.
That was what happened.
People go to scoop fuel from those spilled products, and you know that kind of volatile situation,
yes,
anything can cause fire.
Definitely.
So I think we should keep enlightening people that the cheap fuel you get for maybe you save 10,020.
And the number of lives that can be, exactly.
It's so sad.
Moving on to Daily Sun. Major headline carries Bauchi governor knocks President Tinubu, says president's reforms are not working, and he wants a possible attack on political leaders, says he's doing his best to reinvent Nigeria, says Kalu. In other news, I have no interest in Ohaneze presidency. That's from Joaquim. God will judge you if you're doing right. Fubara tells judges. NGE, Imo government, UNICEF engages editors on Southeast South-South challenges. How government arms end up in the hands of criminals. That's from NSA, and the cholera story, which has gotten as high as 378 people dead. What story are we taking in?
Okay, go with George.
I've been waiting for you to take this Fubara story. Like,
the Fubara was at he was speaking at the opening of the 2024-2025 legal year and the rededication service at the Cathedral Church of St. Paul's Anglican Communion in Diobu in Port Harcourt. And Governor don't look at the judge, say, go with George. Go with George or the judge. That, many of them who, he claimed, smeared their conscience to canvass what is unprofessional, an aberration to just to please their paymasters. I don't know what he was referring to, but he said, some of you said you are legal luminaries. You know the truth, but you will go on air just to pacify your paymasters, to turn the law upside down. We all know the law, and when it comes to issues that have to do with administration of governance in the state, it is within the jurisdiction of the state high courts. Now referring to the judgments that are conflicting his interest from the federal. He said it doesn't matter whether you joined INEC or the police, it is a state matter. I am not a lawyer Thank God he admitted.
Has agreed
But
to
I know that one, and you stand and you say you are doing the right thing. So
the appeal court said that he can't present his budget to.
He doesn't have a house.
You demolish
this governor
house.
say he no be lawyer and says he doesn't need a house to form quorum. He needs 4 people to pass an appropriation
over
bill.
30, among
Fear of
30.
God catch me. But it's good that he said he doesn't know God.
Judges to be
So
judged.
thank God he said God will judge. God will judge everybody.
God will judge the person that is
always
presenting
like
to
when
minority. Moving on to Vanguard, major headline. Federal government reforms not working. Bauchi governor counters World Bank. Hardship fueling voter apathy. That's political party warns. Jigawa explosion, I've taken that story. Flooding. Relocate from riverbanks. Federal government warns Nigerians. I wonder where they are meant to go to. Federal government inaugurates panel to toll $112 million. Abuja, Kefi, Akangwa, Makurdi roads. So they want to toll this entire road. Why Naira is worst performing currency from experts. Politically motivated court judgment threatens our democracy. That's from former President Jonathan. Many injured as CNG-powered vehicle explodes in Benin City. Please, who has that story?
I have that story from Benin City, the condensed natural gas CNG.
That is our solution.
I'm telling you. So
I've been seeing
this
a lot of
explosion
videos
happened, and it has caused a lot of panic out there, you know, because everyone says CNG is good. In fact, I even saw someone who said he rode to somewhere and he spent just 1,000 something as against 25,000 that he spent. So this particular CNG vehicle exploded at NIPCO filling station in Benin and Benin Aochi Expressway. So according to the explanation given by NIPCO, they have come to say that it's because of substandard CNG. So the welder who converted the car used a substandard CNG. That caused
That's the cylinder.
Okay, so
yes,
it's not
cylinder.
That's why they're emphasizing on what you convert.
Of course,
I
yeah.
don't think CNG is bad. The way I've seen those
Yeah.
videos. Because I see CNG tankers, none has exploded.
Yes.
So you see a good job refurbishing the ones that are, and then you go and carry weather.
As it is with even cooking gas at home, you know, you have to be really
But
careful.
they are converting them
using
for free. So why are they going to meet?
No,
they're not converting for free.
Now, what are the
Government
locations?
was
converted for a few people.
And
Few
what are
people
the
with public
locations?
transports, you know.
We need to know the locations, reliable people to
Yes,
go to.
So
exactly.
NIPCO are positioned for CNG. I know that one. And if you go through their stations, you see there are other ones that we've seen. And so go to them, let them convert for you. They have the...
If it is too cheap, run away from it.
200,000 and you see someone who is doing it for 50. Wouldn't you want to
Yes,
go
if
to
it is too
55?
cheap, run away from it. It is not cheap to convert to CNG.
Yeah.
Cheaper ones might be substandard and it might lead to explosion.
So I have the governor of Bauchi State. You know,
Okay.
answer that World Bank Oga. They said that we should do this for another 10 years before... We should sustain these reforms for another 10 years. He said, no. He said, before they will beat us, he says, we cannot continue like this.
Yeah.
There's hunger in the land, saying the federal government should not be dogmatic about the issue. The governor said, people are hungry and that people of this status, of his status, face the threat of being lynched. And that's the truth. Everybody now looking at somebody that has a regular, that you are even going and coming. They don't know whether it's easy or, but they just see that you are making
like
it
you are
work.
better off.
So, you know, the people are desperate, and I agree with him. I saw that when the World Bank Oga was talking, the Minister for Finance and Economy was immediately agreeing. In doing this, find ways to buffer the people. That's most important.
Yeah, so I have the story of people saying, yes, they relocate from riverbanks, and you are telling them to relocate from riverbanks, and tell where are they going to go to? The federal government is not even making provision for, you know, where they are going to go to and all. And this is a natural disaster that, you know, it has been there since. We're just supposed to have been prepared. They said has advised Nigerians living around riverbanks along the River Benue Basin to quickly move to safer grounds. They said that the River Benue has reached the flooding level due to increased rainfall. And also the River Niger too, they should all move around out of the River Niger side too. And they said that saying that the management of Kainji and Jeba dams were working to control the flood waters. The level of the water is already getting very high. So they need to do something and move as soon as possible. This is what I'm saying. The federal government needs to move in and help these people move to better
Along the flood. Yeah, well, we need definitely. Just a final story, very funny one I found in the papers. They say Niger has taken over Benue as a food basket, came from the commissioner. So the commissioner for Niger State, as well as the governor for Niger State, speaking at the celebration of World Food Day, which held in the Legbo Kutigi Conference Center, Mina, said that Niger is not trying to feed itself anymore. Niger has now taken over from Benue State as the food basket in terms of their ability to feed Nigeria. They said that there are critical challenges facing Nigeria based on high cost of living, economic realities, insecurity, climate change, which aggravate food insecurity. But that they are doing a lot of states is doing a lot of strategy to help to ensure that they are able to supply food. They have explored 3 million hectares of arable land with enormous water bodies and attributes of 223 grazing reserves, 94 forest reserves to harvest the potential in the green economy associated with gains in productive agricultural purchases. A whole lot more was said, but I feel like this is something every state should especially can aspire towards. Benue can come out and say, by next year, we'll take over back and we'll have results to show for it.
Yeah.
It's healthy competition.
Yeah.
When we compete on that level, we will have more food and we'll start reading of positive stories like this.